You're walking along the banks of a lake one night when you notice a mysterious glow in the water. Is a person blinking a light from the water's depths? Is it a trick of the eye? Not quite. What you're seeing along the shoreline is a phenomenon known as bioluminescence. Bioluminescence is a fascinating and strange phenomenon that many organisms have evolved over thousands of years. It allows them to survive in sometimes threatening and hostile environments, and has fascinated humans since the dawn of time. However, we are only just beginning to fully understand how bioluminescence works, and in turn, harness it to make discoveries. Bioluminescence is a chemical reaction that occurs inside an organism's body. The key is that it produces light without the production of heat, which is no mean feat. This chemical reaction usually takes place in a specialized organ known as the photophore. In that place, oxygen interacts with the chemical luciferin to produce the actual chemical producing the light. Some scientists suggest that bioluminescence may have evolved when oxygen was low in the atmosphere. At that point in time, oxygen was toxic to most living things, and removing it from the atmosphere may have been one way of dealing with it. Today, bioluminescence is most common in aquatic environments, but it can be found in terrestrial ones as well. Fungi, worms, and insects have all been found to demonstrate bioluminescence. Some species of insects will produce light to signal to prospective mates. Male fireflies, which are actually beetles and not flies, will emit light while performing a dance of sorts to attract females waiting below. In other beetles, specifically the glowworm beetle, this behavior is reversed. Females will light up to signal for potential mates. However, bioluminescence isn't just useful for mating. It is also often used between predators and prey. Certain fish, such as the anglerfish and the lanternfish, are infamous for their lighted lures they use to attract prey. More surprisingly to some people, prey species can glow to deter predation. The bobtail squid lights up at night to confuse predators below that mistake the squid for moonlight. This interaction becomes even cooler when you realize that it isn't the bobtail squid producing the glow. Rather, each squid will have special bioluminescent bacteria that glow. Squid expel most of these bacteria each morning, and by the nighttime they have once again increased into large enough numbers to avoid predation. Have you ever wondered why fireflies are yellow, but many marine organisms emit a blue light? Well, it has to do with the fact that different colors correspond with unique wavelengths of light. Not all of these wavelengths easily penetrate ocean waters. Only those with shorter wavelengths, those closer to blue and green, can get through the water. Because of this phenomenon, most deep sea creatures can't even see red light, kind of similar to how we can't see UV light, although some animals can. A few scientists, including Dr. Edith Witter, used bioluminescence to hunt for the elusive giant squid. Rather than traveling the deep, hoping to run into a giant squid in a noisy submersible, they relied on a glowing lure that mimicked the common deep-sea jellyfish. Why did they do that? The giant squid doesn't eat this jellyfish, but it does eat the jellyfish's predator. The jellyfish only glows when it's being eaten, and the squid have evolved to recognize that as a signal that food is close by. Scientists harnessed this behavior. A squid confused the researchers' lure for a potential meal, and they were able to film the giant squid for the very first time. Make sure to check out that cool footage in the description below.